Right now, we are going to start the topic of the digestion. Actually, this is, you can say that the topic we are going to discuss before the digestion is the mode of nutrition. See, remember, digestion is just a part of nutrition. If you remember the definition of nutrition, I told you in the very beginning of the chapter of plant, I told you that it involves all the processes starting right before we put the food into our bodies up to the time when the food is processed and removed from our body. So it's a very huge phenomena. And we know that the mode of nutrition in the humans basically is heterotrophic. Would you care to elaborate what is the meaning of heterotrophs?
Um, it's the organism that eats other plants or animals.
Yeah, they take the food from other sources. They don't have capability to make their organic food or their high energy food on the basis of on their own. So the second thing about the heterotroph was like what type of organisms were performing the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, if you remember.
Um, was it, what do you call it? So just general, for example, cows,
Name
humans.
two groups. Let me give you a hint. There are two groups that perform it.
Oh, carnivores, omnivores.
Be
Uh,
more generalized, even more general. Animals and fungi.
yeah. Okay.
Animals and fungi are those groups which often perform this particular phenomena, and that is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And there were even we were able to distinguish even between them, that if animal and fungi both perform this kind of nutrition, then what is the difference between them? Because there must be some sort of difference between them.
Between.
There must between the animal and fungi nutrition, both are same, but heterotrophic, but there must be some sort of difference. If you don't remember, let me tell you. The animals perform ingestive mode. They take the food in bulk. They get the food in the larger molecular form. So that is called as ingestive mode of nutrition. So but remember that whenever we talk about the animal mode of nutrition, the human nutrition or animal nutrition comprises of several steps. Comprises of several steps. Number one is ingestion. In the ingestion, uh, basically two things can be discussed. One is selecting the food. We select our food and then we eat it. Both are ingestion. Both are included in the ingestion. Then comes the very next step, and the longest one, I guess, that is the digestion. What is the meaning of digestion?
I think the exact meaning was something to do with nutrition. I forgot how to word it properly.
The digestion basically means breakdown. When we eat the food, we break it down, and we break down into smaller absorbable molecules. Remember, breakdown does not only mean physical breakdown. You have to break it down to the point where they can be absorbed, and that point is not easy to reach. That particular point is not easy to reach. So that is why it is important to notice. Breakdown, and then comes another step which is called as the absorption. Do you know about it?
The absorption of nutrients.
Hmm. Absorption of nutrients means when something, some molecule enters into your body. Remember, okay, I'll tell you that later. What is the complete meaning of absorption? Fourth step. Fourth step is assimilation. What is assimilation? Assimilation is a specific thing that generally refers to assembling the smaller ones, assembling the smaller molecules for different purposes. Different purposes. Like we literally are assembling different kinds of molecules and we use them for our purposes. And then the fifth one is digestion. Digestion, removing those which could not be digested, undigested ones. Okay, so in this particular chapter, we are going to go through all these mentioned steps. The most important part about this detail is that we need to know what phenomena occurs in which part of our bodies, in which organs. Before that, I would like you to know about about some particular terminologies. The the system that particularly involves in our, you can say, complete nutrition is called as the digestive system. Is called as the digestive system, in which what organs are involved? Mouth, number two, esophagus, number three, stomach, number four, small intestine, number five, large intestine. Is it finished or are there any other organs?
Um, what about the liver, the kidney? Well, the liver mainly.
The
Pancreas.
liver and gallbladder,
Pancreas.
yes, and the pancreas. These are the organs which are involved in the digestive system. And the digestive system. Uh, okay, can you tell me what is a system? What is the actual meaning of a system in our bodies?
So an organ system specifically would
Mm-hmm.
be when different organs work together. And when they work together, it's called an organ system. The digestive
When they
system is
work.
an organ system.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Remember that in the digestive system, we do have to realize that this number of organs is called as our gut or alimentary canal. Alimentary canal. The gut or alimentary canal are those particular organs actually which are actually involved in the movement of our food. Remember this. The movement of our food is the part that we call as the gut, or occurs in the part that we call as the gut or alimentary canal. The rest of the when you involve the two organs in which the food does not directly move, remember the food does not move here. The food does not move here or through them. No, these could be involved in your digestive system but cannot be involved in the alimentary canal. Is it understood?
Yeah.
Now you need to understand one thing, that all these steps that you have written over here, you need to understand that what organs are performing these tasks. Suppose that the digestion would be done by the mouth, the stomach, the small intestine. Then, and obviously, when you talk about the small intestine, you need also to understand that the help of the small intestine would be done by the pancreas and the liver. Okay, what organs are involved in the absorption? Remember the other part of small intestine. And the absorption means that the food has to move from intestine into the blood. Remember, this is the real definition of absorption. This is the real definition of absorption, that the food has to move from intestine to the blood. That is when when the molecules enter into your body. Otherwise, entering into the alimentary canal does not mean that they have entered into your body, because the alimentary canal has two ends, one end and the second end. There are many parts, that is your alimentary canal. There are many parts of food that would enter from this end and they would be exiting from this end. They do not become part of your body. So alimentary canal, alimentary canal does not mean does not mean the food has entered into the body. Entered into the body. Okay, next. Assimilation. Assimilation is solely done by the liver. It is exclusively done by the liver. Then comes digestion. It is done by the large intestine. So all of these things would be involved in different phenomena. So that is why you need to be very much aware that all these steps, when we study all these steps, we need to know that what functions are being performed. Okay, what are the problems in this chapter? The biggest problems that the student face, the problems related to CIEs. See, the problem in this chapter related to CIEs is number one, you mostly forget the label of organ. What is the name of the organ? Second, the student forget the arrangement of organs. Number three, the students forget the functions of the organs. Number four, the students forget the secretions of the organs. What are secretions? Secretions are basically the enzymes or other things. They forget these. These four are the real problems that the students very normally, this is a very normal, you can say, this is something very normal. The students most often forget about it. They most often forget about the they most often forget about the these four things.
Okay.
These four things are usually the problematic ones. So when we move to when before we move uh, to this chapter, different part of this chapter, I would like you to open the book on your side maybe and take out this diagram. This diagram must be there in your book. Do you
No.
have it right now?
Biology. Can you also send me the new Jamboard?
Sure. It is. Hold on. Let me change its privacy. Basically, it's okay.
Okay.
You got the link?
Yeah. Okay, I have the diagram.
Okay. Now, very carefully read it and check out the arrangement of the organs.
Okay.
All right. Now, the thing that you are looking at basically is the problem for the students. Why is it a problem? It is a problem because the students don't are not able to remember which organ comes after which organ comes after which one, and which organ is involved in what phenomena, which organ is basically working for what purpose. That is the problem. The way you are looking at this particular diagram is totally the students mostly totally forget when they start studying these organs and their functions in detail. That is one of the biggest problems. So now you can see that they have also written this one over here: ingestion, digestion, absorption, and egestion. So this thing is also written over here, and we can discuss that later. First of all, hold on. Let me open a document. Oh no, hold on. Yeah. Now this is a slide made by me. I often teach my this particular chapter with the help of this slide, and this would help you understand that how the organs are arranged and how the functions are going to be done. Hold on, first of all. Yes, the enamel, dentine, pulp, nerve vessels, function of the types of human teeth, stomach, all. Uh, okay. So now we are, once we have ingested, suppose we have ingested the food. Once we have ingested it, the very next step is digestion. Obviously, we have discussed a part of ingestion. We have discussed in the human nutrition, in the nutrients. Why am I saying that? Because if you remember, I said that we select our food. In the ingestion, we say that we often select our food. So if you notice, the nutrients in the very beginning of this chapter are those things which we often select to eat. So in the ingestion, the selection part is already done. Now we are moving towards the digestion portion. Remember that when we are moving towards the digestion portion, digestion is of two types. Digestion often mean breaking down, but the digestion does not represent, the word digestion does not mean that it is only the enzymatic breakdown. The digestion typically means the physical breakdown and the chemical breakdown. Both are digestions. In the physical breakdown, the we basically break down the food, break the food uh, to make it easier for enzymes to act or to attach it as substrate. Remember that the size of the food that we often eat is not recommended when it comes to the enzymes active site. No, the size of the food is totally, you can simply say, um, it is something that the enzymes cannot even touch. They cannot break it down. So that is why the physical digestion has to be done. The
Okay.
physical digestion basically occurs in three parts of our bodies. Number one, the mouth, and in which the teeth are used. The stomach, where the movement of stomach, the churning movement, basically grinds our food. And third is the bile. Bile physically uh, break the fat, breaks the fat to, you can say, to make it available for enzymes. So these three types of things would come in the physical digestion. Remember, this is some sort of a problem that when it appears in the CIEs, the students mostly tell about mouth as an organ that performs the physical digestion. They only tell about the mouth. They don't tell about any other organ. So we need to be very careful while answering that question, that that uh, the the mouth is involved, but the other organs are also involved in the physical digestion. Okay. All right. Next, let's talk about the physical digestion in the mouth. Mouth, the physical digestion. The physical digestion is done by the teeth. Often we call it chewing. We often call it chewing, but that is not a biological terminology. The biological terminology is mastication. Mastication. Mastication means eating or like grinding your food. Now, remember that the mastication is done with the help of teeth, and teeth have different purposes. Teeth have one purpose of the teeth is to break the food from source. Like if you are eating a burger, you don't put the whole burger in your mouth. You break it from the source. Break it, break a bite from the burger. Second, you have to grind it. And there is another, along with one, I would write 1A. 1A. 1A is you, you can say you gnaw it, gnaw the food, or you just tear the food. Now, what is the meaning of gnawing or tearing the food? If I want to tell you in proper wording in the local language, in Urdu it is called as chirna parna.
Yeah.
And this terminal in this terminology is basically used for the meat. It is basically used for the meat, that we need to separate it from the source. Ju- See, remember, the breaking of the food from the source can be applied to any kind of food. Suppose you are just taking a bite from apple. Do you need to gnaw it or you need to tear it? No, you don't need to tear it. You just hold it with your teeth and you pull the apple back, and that's all. Just like the banana. Banana is a soft fruit. Just like that, you have many vegetables that you can eat raw. You can just put your teeth, just slightly put the pressure with the help of your teeth, and pull that particular vegetable or fruit away. That would easily take a part of your bite out of that particular thing. So that is what we call as the biting. That is a bite. Gnawing means you are going to tear it apart, and that gnawing is only done with the meat. So with for these kinds of things, we have three different types of teeth. Okay, have you ever seen a butcher making the pieces of food?
Yeah.
Does a butcher use only one kind of sharp object?
No.
He uses a knife. He uses a chisel shaped thing. He uses a
Knife.
cleaver. Cleaver. What's a cleaver? Cleaver is the most important thing, especially to break down the bones. To break down the bones. So that basically is the point, that whenever you are making, you are just whenever you see a butcher making the food, making the meat, the pieces of meat, even the butcher cannot use a single type of knife. Similarly, the the we cannot use the same type of tooth to perform different tasks. Breaking the food or biting is done by a group of teeth, is a different group of teeth. I'll just randomly tell you the names, then I'll get to the get towards the that slide. The biting is in the biting, the group of teeth that are involved is called as incisors. In the gnawing, the group of teeth that are involved are canines. In the grinding, you have premolars and molars, especially molars. So incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. These are involved in these kinds of functions. Now, if I properly tell you, the there is always the, you can say, the teeth classification. There are two kinds of teeth classification. One is based upon the existence. Existence mean that one set of ours is called as the deciduous teeth, which are mistakenly or commonly named as the milk teeth, the teeth that appear when a child is in a small age. That is the deciduous teeth. Then comes the the permanent teeth. This is the second set, permanent teeth. That is a set of 32 teeth, mostly. Mostly. Then the other classification of teeth is related to shape and function. In this classification, we give the names to the teeth that I have told you previously, incisors, canines. And remember that our jaw appears like this. Hold on. Our jaw appears like this. Let me make it just roughly. And we have like the teeth start from here. 8 teeth on this side, 8 on this side, 8 on this side, 8 on this side. 8 fours are 32. And remember that each set of 8 is identical to others. Identical to others. So it means that the number of teeth existing in one set would also exist in the other 3 sets. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, now so let's talk about different types of teeth and their functions. This is the picture of the lower jaw. So first of all, let's talk about the jaw as a whole. Remember that I can divide it from the middle, 8 over here and 8 over here. So I can study one side of it. Remember, on one side, you always have 2 incisors. Incision. Incision means making a cut. Making a cut, making a break, breaking it down, that is called as incisors. So this is the shape of them. Remember that they are not pointy. Now this is something that would make you like a bit worried. Remember, the root means this is the part inside the jaw. This part is hidden. This is your jaw.
Okay.
This
So the
part is
pointy
hidden.
part, the pointy part is in the jaw.
Yes, the pointy part is the root or the jaw. So this picture mostly deceives the students. They look at the pointy part. No, 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 no. You don't need to have a look at the pointy part. Just take a look at the upper part, which is the crown. Crown is basically the part of the tooth that you often see. Whenever you see in the mirror, you see at the crown, not at the roots. So once the root is once we understand how different types of crowns appear. Now first of all, look at the incisors. Incisors, they are chisel shaped. This is an incisor, and incisors are basically, this is incisor for cutting and biting. So incisors basically are those kind of teeth that would help you separate that would help in separating the part of any particular food from its source, any particular bite from its source. So its shape would be like chisel, or you can say it would look a bit like flat from the upper part. Then comes the canine. Now the canines are for the purpose that I told you over there, gnawing and tearing your food. That is the one. The canines are, remember one more thing before telling you about the canine. The different teeth, number of different teeth would be different, would be different when it comes to different animals. Different animals. That is very important point here. When it comes to different animals, there would be number of different number of teeth. Suppose that humans humans only have 1 out of 8 canine, which means total canine are 4. Total canines are 4. So um, that
Wait, this is
tells
hypothetical, right? That if they have,
what? Sorry.
you're just showing it that if they have four canines, right? Or
Uh,
they do have eight, 1 of 8.
1 of 8. All humans have 1 of 8 canine. It means 4 out of 32.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you
It
mean
does
as
not.
in terms of the whole teeth, 1 of 8.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay,
In terms of the whole teeth, so we said that we have 4 sets of 8.
okay.
So one out of each set, we have canine, one in each set. So total 4 out of 32. So four canines. That see, remember the teeth set help us a lot in classification as well. Teeth set help us a lot in classification. Like we can figure out the food preferences of an organism on the basis of its teeth set. How can you say that? Basically, when you see a, a teeth set, that teeth set would help you understand that what that animal prefers to eat. Suppose I have a particular you can say I have a particular way of saying that uh, the the cattle or sheep, they lack the canine. Why?
Because they don't need it.
Why don't they need it?
Because you said that the canine is usually used for the meat,
Yes, canines
and
are usually
and cattle don't have that in their diet.
yes. So the canines basically are absent in the skull of the cattle. If you closely look, even you can write it down on you can write it down on the Google and see the teeth of herbivores or teeth of cattle. You'll clearly see a picture or you can say a skull in which you would not be looking at the you would not be looking at the canine. Instead, you will see an empty space in place of where there the canine should be present. So all these things or all these understandings would make you aware that many of the many of the animals don't need particular kinds of food, and their teeth set is according to that. So then comes the incisors are two, the canine is one on one side. Now premolars. Now what is this? The premolars basically are those teeth which, um, if I properly tell you, these are those teeth which actually uh, work as grinding teeth. They are primarily or primary for grinding in the children. Why? Because the children don't have molars. Don't have molars. They only have premolars. Children only have premolars. That is why we need to know that that these premolars are the primary teeth for the grinding in the children, and then come the molars. So you can see the difference in the shape. The real crown shape is of the molars, but the premolars also have a crown shape. They also have a crown shape. So you can identify them with the help of their outer shape or crown shape. Is it understood?
Yep.
Next. Next is the inside structure of the teeth. Hold on. Let me show you one more thing. Okay. So this is the whole jaw. You can see over here all the teeth, shapes of all the teeth and everything. You can see here. But I was just trying to. You can also see these shapes here. I'm just trying to find out the diagram in which we can study the internal structure of the tooth. Tooth anatomy. Yeah, because this is the picture. This picture is going to. Yeah. Basically, the model you are about to look at, or the picture you are looking at right now, these are the sections of the teeth. Sections of the teeth basically means that these are not this is not the real appearance of the teeth. Instead, these are the teeth which actually this is a picture that actually represents the half of a tooth. So this model does the same. Half of the tooth is here, and you can clearly see different layers. Remember that the outer part of every tooth is inert. What is the meaning of inert?
It doesn't move, I think.
Try a bit more.
Um, I don't know how to explain it exactly. I know what inert means, but I know it in the physics way, so I don't know how to explain it here.
You should be knowing it from the chemistry as well. Inert gases. What are the inert gases?
Inert
Helium,
gas.
neon, argon, krypton, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, these
So it doesn't
something
go
like these.
under. It doesn't undergo chemical reactions.
Yes, it does not react.
Is that the same with
So
teeth?
yeah, the
But like,
inert material. Mhm.
but isn't something like when you have tooth decay? Isn't that a form of reaction?
That is the problem. The tooth decay wouldn't be happening if you don't already damage your teeth with another thing. Let me tell you, the enamel of the teeth is inert, it does not react. But remember, anything, if anything is inert, it does not mean that the other conditions won't damage it. Suppose you have an inert material, but there is also that material is also getting affected by the um, pH change. The same thing is here. The inert material, the inert enamel, it does not react to your um, sugar. It does not react to your uh, fats, does not react to proteins, does not react to vitamins, does not even react to calcium.
Yeah.
It does not react to calcium, does not react to phosphorus. But the problem is when the pH changes, when the pH changes, it can literally get damaged. It can literally get damaged, and when it gets damaged, it is going to have a there is going to be a problem. Why? Because they are actually now they are actually compromised now, and now they can easily be penetrated, and once the enamel layer is removed, now everything is open. There is no protective layer. Got it?
Yeah.
So let's have a look at how the pH could appear, how the pH could be affecting it. Remember that enamel is actually affected by the lower pH. Lower pH means acidic pH. The enamel would be broken down, and like, do we drink the acid? Do we drink the acid?
No. I mean, like,
Mm,
we don't drink highly acidic, but we
the
do.
acid. Mhm.
We wouldn't like drink something with a 1 pH, but maybe like 5 pH.
You are right. The we do take acidic things. Every sour thing is acidic. Sour means acidic. There are many sauces that are acidic. The tamarind is acidic. Some other things. Is it tamarind?
Um,
Sorry. What do we
I'm not
call the
sure.
imli?
Yeah.
I guess it is tamarind. Anyways, whatever. Or what else? So the most important thing that in these days would be the fizzy drinks. The fizzy drinks are acidic, so we take it and we do damage our teeth by intaking the fizzy drinks. Next part is, okay, fine, we do damage our teeth with the help of these fizzy drinks. The other things that can damage are sugars. Okay, why? I just said that these are inert, so why the sugar would affect it? Remember that sugars have glucose and you have bacteria in your mouth. These bacteria would be performing a phenomena that is called as lactic acid fermentation, at the end of which you would be having lactic acid in your mouth, and ultimately it is an acid. That is why sugars are dangerous. So that is the real problem. That is the actual problem. That you are basically not taking the food with caution. The sugar is entering, and once the sugar is entering into your body, now your body, obviously, the this enamel, it is not going to get affected by the sugar directly. But once the lactic acid fermentation is performed, your teeth are going to be vulnerable because they're acidic. The lactic acid is acidic. So now I'm there is a problem with the sugar. Once the lactic acid fermentation is done, there is a problem with the with it, that when the people try to brush their teeth, they use a toothpaste. Okay, what are the times that are good for brushing the teeth?
Morning and night.
Morning and night. Okay. When in the morning?
Um, People do it on different times, so before or after.
Before or after? Before or after, or before and after?
Before and after.
Okay, now remember that obviously what is the purpose of brushing is to clean the teeth, clean and maintain the pH. These are the two purposes that would help your teeth. Always remember that brushing your teeth would always be preferable when you have a lot of time distance between two meals. Between two meals. At least, no, not 3, 4 to 6 hours. Whenever you have 4 to 6 hour time distance between two meals, you should be brushing your teeth. And what is that? Most of the time, the biggest difference between the two meals is when you brush your teeth at night and when you brush your teeth after the breakfast, because most of the time, when you brush your teeth before the breakfast, it is useless. It is as useless as um, washing your car during the rain.
Yeah,
If there was any damage that could have been done, it is done because you have given the bacteria almost 6 to 8 hours to perform the lactic acid fermentation. The damage has been done. So it is totally useless. Always remember you need to brush your teeth after your dinner, after the last thing you take, and after the breakfast, because the longest distance between the two meals is either the dinner and the breakfast or the breakfast and lunch. The lunch also takes time. So yes, so that is the point. That is how you brush your teeth. You set your timing for the brushing of teeth. Otherwise, the lactic acid fermentation would be done. Is it clear?
yeah.
Second thing, what is the style of brushing? Do you just rub your teeth?
No,
That is for your knowledge.
no, you don't just rub.
Yes. What do you have to do?
Um, like, how do I describe the motion? Uh, like going up and down, moving
Yeah,
around,
good, good, good,
focusing
good.
on one area.
Mm-hmm. Basically, that's the way. Whenever if you are brushing your upper jaw, you'll be moving from up to down, and you'll go other way around when you are working on the lower jaw. And similarly, when you are brushing your teeth, you have to brush your teeth from the back because mostly the plaque, the plaque is the plaque appears on the back of your teeth, not in the front. So teeth are the teeth are basically have to be rubbed from the back. And the same thing is same type of brushing style you'll follow, like moving the brush from up to down on the back of your teeth on the both sides, for the upper jaw and for the lower jaw. So that is the way you do the brushing. Okay, so that is okay. Now next, once the enamel has damaged, once the damage is done, Now your internal lining is exposed. The second lining is called as the dentine. This is harder than bone and made of calcium salt deposited on the framework of collagen fibers. It contains a series of fine canals which extend to the pulp cavity. Okay, now before that, you need to know the what is the plaque or plaque. It is actually a film of bacteria, a film of bacteria that appears above the teeth and yellowish. It is always yellowish film of bacteria, and it is very difficult to remove. Once it has appeared, it is very difficult to remove. Remember that uh, you perform a dental procedure called as the scaling. Through scaling, you remove the plaque that has been hardened because it is very difficult to remove. Okay, once the damage is done, now your dentine is exposed. No doubt the dentine is harder. The dentine is harder, but the problem is that it has collagen fiber and series of canals extend to the pulp cavity. Once the enamel is broken, these canals can be rushed with the bacteria. They can be filled with the bacteria, and the bacteria can literally move into your pulp cavity. The pulp cavity is tooth producing cell, blood vessels, and nerve ending. If the infection or the bacteria are up to your dentine, it can still be cleared. It can still be cleared, it can still be removed, it can still be wiped out, it can still be cleaned. Once it enters into your pulp cavity, most of the time what you have to do is the root canal. You have to uh, remove the nerve ending because it pains so much that there is no other chance, and you try to remove the infection as much as you can. So this is the part that is the most vulnerable. Then this is the gum periodontal membrane, bundles of collagen fibers anchoring the cement covering the tooth or to the jawbone. And if you remember, the vitamin C causes the production of collagen. If vitamin C is less, then the periodontal membrane would be weakened. Then the other internal lining is cement. It helps anchor the tooth of to the okay, no pain. Is the root canal is the option. But obviously we don't need to know, it is not in our syllabus. Okay, two sets of teeth, 18 months. Yeah, that I have already told you. Any problem?
No problem.
You want to have a look at the topic?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, good. All right. Once the physical digestion in the mouth is done, you move to the chemical digestion. Chemical digestion, and the chemical digestion is performed by the enzymes. Okay, now you need to know enzymes need to be secreted. Enzymes need to be secreted. And if the enzymes need to be secreted, it means there must be some sort of glands. Because, see, remember that the enzymes that work in your mouth cavity are called as extracellular enzymes. Why do we call them extracellular?
They have more cells than required of them.
No, 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 no. No, no, no. The extra word does not work like extra in the English, common English. Extra has another meaning.
Your voice is gone.
The extracellular means anything that works outside the cell. Got it?
Yeah,
Hmm. Anything that works outside the cell. What is the meaning? Don't all enzymes work outside the cells?
no, they don't. Not all of them.
What do you mean? What enzyme? Mm-hmm. Are there enzymes that work?
Your voice is gone again.
Can you name?
Name what?
Hello? Oh,
Hello?
hold
Yeah, I
on.
can hear you now.
Can you hear me? I said, what enzymes do you think work inside the cell?
Um, so that would be the opposite, right? Intracellular.
Just hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Okay, now I guess you can hear me clearly.
Yeah. So I said intracellular.
Okay. Intracellular enzymes are the cells do have enzymes that work inside the cells. And remember that all the enzymes
Your voice is gone again. Hello? I can't hear you.
internet was gone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but like it's the voice is going and coming back.
Okay, hello. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry. So all the enzymes that are required to be working outside are called as extracellular, and they all need to be secreted. Secreted means they all need to be released outside the cell. But remember that enzymes are always made inside the cell. So the group of cells, the group of cells that make or synthesize the enzymes is called as glands. So obviously, if we need the enzymes to work in our mouth, if we need the enzymes to work in our mouth, we need the glands. We need the glands when we need to the enzymes to work inside our mouth. So we have glands in our mouth. These glands are called as salivary glands. Excuse me. These glands need to release not only the enzymes but other things. They release the mucus, they release the enzymes, and they release some other part of saliva. Now, the enzymes, the enzymes that work here, mostly what do we need to know about those enzymes? These are called as amylase. The amylase is an enzyme for what? What do we
You mean the purpose?
amylase? Yeah, what's the purpose?
So it works in the it's in the salivary glands. So it helps you digest carbohydrates.
Yes, it digests the carbohydrates. So that is the amylase. The mucus basically is a composition. The composition of mucus is the water plus some glycoproteins, some proteins, and with the carbohydrates, glycoproteins. And these glycoproteins are also called as mucin. They have a purpose of maintaining the pH, maintaining the pH and some antimicrobial activity. Antimicrobial activity. So that is the purpose of the mucus. So these are the two things. Now these are released by the salivary glands. Now the location of the salivary glands, basically the salivary glands are in three pairs. Total six. They are in three pairs. Some salivary glands are located at the back of our mouth, almost at the location between the ears, between the ears. These are called as parotid glands. Parotid, parotid. There are others which are present in the lower jaw. Uh, Lower jaw. These are called as submaxillary gland, I guess. Yeah, lower jaw. These are called as submaxillary glands. We don't need to know the names. I just remember. We don't need to know the names. They are present in the lower jaw, and then sublingual are those which are present beneath the tongue. So there is the collection of the glands that we got in our mouth, the salivary glands. Understood?
Yep.
Any problem?
No, no problems.